The human spaceship Odyssey drifted quietly through the edge of the Orion sector. Captain Ryan Keller leaned over the control panel, scanning for signs of life. It was supposed to be a routine exploration mission, just a few days to map unknown star systems. But deep inside, Ryan felt a strange chill, as if something was watching them. Suddenly, the alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the cockpit. "What the?" Ryan shouted, gripping the console. Outside the window, a sleek, black ship emerged from the shadows of an asteroid field. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal, and strange markings glowed faintly along its hull. "This is not on any star chart," Ryan muttered. But before he could react, a tractor beam shot from the alien ship, locking onto the Odyssey. The human ship shuddered violently, systems failing one by one. "Brace for impact," the crew yelled, as the Odyssey was pulled toward the mysterious ship. Within moments, it was dragged into a massive hangar, the walls lined with strange machinery and blinking lights that no human had ever seen. The airlock opened, and a figure appeared. She was tall, fierce, and unlike any alien Ryan had imagined. Her skin had a silver sheen, and her eyes glowed like molten amber. A long, dark coat flowed behind her as she stepped forward. In one hand, she held a weapon that hummed with energy, but it wasn't aimed at him, yet. "I am Captain Arya Voss," she said, her voice both commanding and melodic. "And you are my prisoner." Ryan froze. "Prisoner? I don't even know why." Arya's eyes studied him carefully. "Most humans don't. But you are special. That is why I captured you." The crew tried to act, but Arya waved her hand, and small energy barriers appeared, stopping anyone from moving. Her presence alone made every human heart race. There was power in her, but also hesitation. Something in her gaze hinted at a secret she wasn't willing to share. Days passed on the alien ship. Ryan and his crew were confined to a small chamber, walls lined with strange symbols that occasionally pulsed with light. Arya visited sometimes, not to interrogate, but to watch. She never spoke much. She just observed. Ryan noticed something strange. Every time he tried to escape or fight back, Arya seemed almost reluctant to harm him. Once, when he tried to slip past a patrol, she appeared out of nowhere, blocking his path. But instead of attacking, she only tilted her head, eyes narrowed with curiosity. "What are you thinking?" Ryan asked, his voice shaky. "Why are you keeping me alive?" Arya didn't answer. Instead, she turned and walked away, her coat sweeping across the metallic floor. Ryan had the uneasy feeling that her answer would change everything he knew about her, and the universe. One evening, Ryan managed to sneak into the observation deck. Through the massive glass, he saw stars stretching endlessly. But among them, he noticed something he hadn't seen before: an enormous fleet of ships moving silently in formation, their hulls glinting in the starlight. Panic surged through him. He realized these weren't just pirates. Arya Voss commanded a force that could crush entire planets. And yet, she had chosen him. Why? As he pondered, he noticed her standing at the other end of the deck. She hadn't made a sound. Just watched him, her eyes unreadable. "You are looking at them," she said softly. "The fleet that fears nothing, except what might happen if you fall into the wrong hands." Ryan swallowed hard. You're saying I'm important?" Arya's lips curled into a faint smile. "You are different. That terrifies me more than you know." Ryan shivered. He didn't know whether to be afraid or curious. There was a tension in the air, something unspoken. And for the first time, he wondered if he had stumbled into a story far bigger than mere survival. Days turned into nights, or what passed for nights on the alien ship. Ryan tried to piece together information from the symbols, the ship's movements, anything that could hint at why he was captured. Every clue led to more questions. Then one night, while he was resting in his chamber, he heard a whisper through the ventilation system. "You are not like the others," a soft, almost hesitant voice said. "And that scares me." It was her. Arya. Ryan's heart pounded. That one line changed everything. She wasn't just a pirate seeking loot or power. There was something deeper, something personal. Something that only he could understand or influence. The next day, he tried again to communicate with her. "Look, if you tell me what you want, maybe I can help," he said. Aria's eyes flickered. For a moment, she looked vulnerable. Help, or destroy. Sometimes the line is thin. Ryan knew then that his life depended not just on escaping, but on understanding her secret. And whatever it was, it would change the course of everything, not just for him, but possibly for the galaxy. As the sun of a distant star glowed faintly through the observation deck, Ryan realized one undeniable truth: he was trapped, yes. But he was also part of something far bigger than he could ever imagine. And the pirate woman who held him captive had a secret that could shake the universe itself. The human chamber was silent, but Ryan couldn't sleep. The words Aria had whispered haunted him: "You are not like the others, and that scares me." He didn't know what it meant, but something deep inside told him it was more than just a threat. Outside, the ship hummed with life. He could hear the soft mechanical rhythm of engines and the occasional click of alien footsteps on metallic floors. Curiosity gnawed at him. He had been a prisoner for days, yet he felt drawn to understand her, this mysterious pirate woman who commanded fear across the galaxy. Then, without warning, the chamber door slid open. Ryan froze. Aria stepped inside. Her amber eyes glowed softly, reflecting the dim lights. But today, she seemed different. Less threatening, almost human. "You shouldn't wander around so much," she said, her voice low, almost shy. Ryan swallowed. "I wasn't wandering. I was thinking. About you. About why I'm here." Aria's eyes narrowed slightly, but there was no anger. Only curiosity. "Why do you care so much about why you're here?" Most humans would panic, scream, or fight. Ryan shrugged. "Maybe because I feel like there's more to this than just capture. You didn't capture me for nothing." Her lips twitched into a faint smile. It was the first time Ryan had seen her smile. A spark of warmth passed through her, like a crack in the armor she wore around herself. "You are stubborn," she said quietly. "And perhaps, you are lucky." Ryan tilted his head. "Lucky? How?" Aria looked away, gazing at the stars visible through a narrow viewport. "Because not all humans could survive the things I've survived. Not all would last in a galaxy that doesn't forgive mistakes." Her words sent a shiver down his spine. There was more here than he understood. Something dangerous. Something personal. "Tell me the truth," he said. "Why me?" She paused, as if weighing the risk of revealing too much. Then she stepped closer. "There is a prophecy, a warning older than any record you have. My people face a threat. A force so powerful that it could destroy our entire civilization. And humans have a role in it." Ryan's eyes widened. "Humans? But we're just explorers. We don't even know half the galaxy." Aria's amber eyes burned with intensity. "Not all humans. You are different. Your species holds something unique. Something I cannot explain fully, not yet. But you may be the key." For the first time, Ryan felt the weight of the galaxy pressing on his shoulders. He wasn't just a prisoner. He was part of something far bigger, far more dangerous than he had ever imagined. I don't know if I can help," he admitted. "You can," Aria said firmly. "But first, you must trust me. And trust is not easy between humans and pirates." Ryan nodded slowly. "I'll try. But you have to tell me everything, no secrets." Aria's lips curved into a faint, almost playful smile. "Everything has a price, Captain Keller. And trust is the hardest of all." Days passed, and Ryan began to see a different side of Aria. She would leave small supplies near his chamber, or silently guide him away from danger when patrol drones passed by. She rarely spoke, but her actions hinted at care. Then, one night, disaster struck. A rival pirate crew, bigger and more ruthless than Aria's own, infiltrated the ship. Alarms blared. Lights flashed. Humans and aliens alike scrambled. Ryan found himself cornered by a heavily armed alien. His heart raced, but before he could react, Aria appeared like a shadow, weapon glowing, and took down the attacker in a blur. Ryan stared at her, awe mixing with fear. You saved me? I didn't save you because I like you, she said sharply, though her eyes softened. I saved you because losing you would be catastrophic. The truth of her words hit him like a shockwave. He wasn't just important, he was necessary. And somehow, Aria's secret, her mission, depended on him staying alive. As they navigated the chaos together, Ryan began to understand her better. She was not a villain. She was a protector, a fierce, determined, and dangerous protector. And in the midst of fear and danger, an unlikely bond began to form between them. Later, in the quiet aftermath, Aria finally spoke the words Ryan had been waiting for. There is a reason I captured you, she said. And it's not what you think. You are my only hope of keeping my people alive. But that doesn't mean I trust you fully. Trust must be earned. Ryan nodded. Then let me earn it. I'll do whatever it takes. Aria studied him, her gaze lingering, as if measuring the weight of his promise. Perhaps, she said softly, you are braver than I imagined, and braver than you know. And as Ryan looked at her, he realized something terrifying and exciting at the same time. He was no longer just a captive. He was part of a story that could shake the galaxy. And the woman who had once imprisoned him might now be his only ally. The ship shuddered as distant explosions rattled the hull. Ryan gripped the railing of the observation deck, staring at the chaotic scene outside. Aria stood beside him, her eyes scanning every blip on the star map. The rival pirate fleet was closing in, faster and more ruthless than they had anticipated. We don't have much time, she said, her voice calm but urgent. If they board us, everything ends, my people, the prophecy, everything. Ryan swallowed hard. Then tell me everything now. No more secrets. I need to know what I'm fighting for. Aria's amber eyes softened for a moment, and she stepped closer. Very few have heard this. My people, we guard an ancient energy, one that can protect entire civilizations. But if it falls into the wrong hands, it can destroy planets. Ryan's mind raced. And the humans? What do we have to do with it? You, she said simply, hold a genetic key. Something in your DNA allows the energy to stabilize. Without it, it's unstable. Dangerous. Ryan felt a chill run down his spine. He wasn't just part of this mission, he was the mission. The fate of an alien species rested on him. Then we fight together, he said, determination rising in his chest. No more hiding, no more running. Show me what to do. Aria nodded. For the first time, she seemed almost vulnerable. Good. Then follow me. And stay close. You'll need courage you've never known. They navigated the corridors of the ship, dodging rival intruders. Ryan watched Aria in action, swift, precise, and fearless. But more than her skill, he noticed her subtle guidance, small gestures that kept him alive. She wasn't just a pirate, she was a warrior, a protector, and now, a reluctant partner. Finally, they reached the energy chamber. It was massive, glowing with a soft, pulsing light. Strange symbols hovered in the air, reacting to their presence. Aria stepped forward. You must touch it, she instructed. Your DNA will stabilize the energy, but it is dangerous. One wrong move, and it could destroy us all. Ryan hesitated. Fear nodded him, but he saw the trust in her eyes and something deeper, almost like hope. He placed his hands on the glowing energy. Instantly, a surge of power coursed through him. He could feel the energy responding, bending, stabilizing. He was connected in ways he could never have imagined. Suddenly, alarms blared again. The rival fleet had boarded the ship, and intruders were everywhere. Ryan felt panic rising, but then he remembered Aria's presence beside him. She moved like a shadow, striking down enemies with precision, but always keeping Ryan safe. Working together, they fought through the chaos. Ryan used his newfound connection with the energy to shield them, while Arya led the charge. It was a dance of survival, danger, and trust. Finally, standing atop the ship's command deck, they faced the leader of the rival pirates. Ryan and Arya moved in perfect sync. With one final combined effort, Arya's skill and Ryan's unique human ability, the enemy was defeated. The rival fleet retreated, leaving them victorious. Breathing heavily, Ryan turned to Arya. "We did it, together." Arya's expression softened. "Yes. And now, my people are safe. Because of you." Ryan shook his head in disbelief. "I didn't do it alone. You guided me. You trusted me." For the first time, Arya smiled fully, not the faint, mysterious smile he had seen before. "Perhaps, humans are capable of more than I ever imagined. Not just bravery, but hope." The ship drifted into silence. The distant stars sparkled, unbroken, as if acknowledging their victory. Ryan realized he had changed not just Arya's fate, but an entire species' destiny. And as he looked at the pirate woman who had once captured him, he felt a strange sense of kinship, maybe even friendship or something more. They had begun as captor and captive, but now they were allies, partners in a galaxy that suddenly felt both terrifying and full of possibility. Arya placed a hand on the console, eyes on the stars. "This was just the beginning," she said softly. "The galaxy is vast, and threats will come again. But together, we can face them." Ryan nodded, a grin spreading across his face. "Then let's make sure we're ready. Whatever comes next, we face it together." And as the ship soared into the unknown, Ryan knew one undeniable truth: humanity mattered. Not just for survival, but for hope, courage, and the future of worlds beyond imagination.